Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Drooks Milan Unboxing. This weekend at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, we're in for a good crossroads fight. It's old school versus new school. Will we see another new star emerging, Teofimo Lopez style? And that is a question on everybody's lips. Now, the guy who people want to be the next superstar is, of course, Ryan King Rai, as his fans call him, Garcia. He's colorful and he's flashy, just like the Siamese fighter sitting here in the little aquarium on my shoulder. And King Rai, Ryan Garcia, is going to have to prove that he really is for real, because he's taking on Luke Cool-Hand Campbell, British fighter, Olympic gold medalist, 20-3 with 18 knockouts as a pro, and he's sort of underachieved as a professional in a sense, although that's not quite fair. A guy who was won an Olympic gold medal, you expect big things really fast from them, but he's also he was also unfortunate not to win a world title, in the sense he had very tough opponents in front of him. You know, if he had somebody lesser at Canada as an average belt holder, he would have been a world champion. So he took a points loss in his pro career against Ivan Mendy, a French guy, but then got back on track and challenged Jorge Linares for WBA and the Ring World Lightweight title, and he came just short. You know, took a knockdown but pushed Linares to a very limit, and he lost a split decision. Another couple of wins, reversed his early loss to Ivan Mendy as well, and then he was up for the lightweight title once again, but this time against Vasyl Lomachenko, and he was gutsy, hung in there, he competed, but he was just completely outclassed by Lomachenko. But once again, Lomachenko is another very special talent. So that was in August of 2019, if my memory serves me correctly. And now he's taking the young upstart Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is 20-0 with 17 knockouts, perfect record. And he's a speedster. He's really quick and he's really flashy with his shots. They come at blurring speed. He's a good-looking youngster that knows how to work for modern-day social media thing. He's got a huge following on there, and it brings the younger crowd to boxing, which is a really fantastic thing. That's what we want in the sport. Can't all be old fogies like me that's closer to 50 than I am to 40. We need the younger crowd, and Ryan Garcia brings that. So I'll be rooting for Ryan Garcia, even though I have a lot of sympathy for Cool-Hand Luke Campbell, whose world title dreams have eluded him thus far. But Ryan Garcia has showed vulnerabilities. In 2018, he took on Carlos Morales, who's a kind of opponent that competes against the top guys but doesn't win. And he got stunned there a couple of times. He looked very wobbly against Carlos Morales. And since then, he changed trainers to the Reynosos, who work with Canelo Alvarez, of course. And his technique has tightened up, I think, but it's hard to tell, because he went 5 rounds against Odelio Rodriguez on a Canelo undercard. A guy who wasn't there to really win, there to spoil. And from then on, his fights ended in 1 or 2 rounds. You know, quick knockouts against good opponents with winning records on the sort of same level as him, you know, but not as highly touted, but guys with solid records, but not really top 10 material. Now, Luke Campbell is in everybody's top 10 at lightweight, everybody's top 5, in fact, I think. And so this is a very serious test. You don't win an Olympic gold medal if you can't box. Campbell has a very good long game, he's got a good jab, he's got very respectable power. You know, Carlos Morales could hurt him, and Campbell hurts him. Campbell has a skill to take him out, he might not survive. And that's the thing we don't know about Ryan Garcia. Chins don't get better, in generally speaking. You know, and has he learned to hold? Has he learned to survive? You know, he was against Morales, I know it's a couple of years back, he was sort of tottering around, didn't hold or whatever, he was trying to chew up the clock by moving around the ring. That might not be enough against Campbell. So there is that big question mark over Ryan Garcia. But I think his speed is off the charts. There are technical flaws. If you beat speed by timing, you can time him with a shot and hit him there and then jump on him when you freeze him. And I think that's what Campbell's going to try and do. And Campbell does have a good long game, as I've said, and he's a southpaw as well. So Campbell uses that long left to the body, and I think that's what he needs to do against Garcia as well. If people get Garcia a little bit on the back foot and they're wary to go in there because he's a good counter punch and you can't see the shots coming with those shots past. But I think Campbell needs to work that body. He's going to have to take risks. It's impossible not to. And he's going to try and establish his jab, work for the body, and try and put steady pressure on Ryan Garcia while keeping it as tight as possible. Get him out of his game. Don't give him room to set up. Don't give him room to do what he wants. Be careful early because he's dangerous early. Work that body and try and drag him in late and hope to catch him with something. I think that's going to be Luke Campbell. That's what he needs to do. If he can hurt Ryan Garcia, and he hasn't learned from the Carlos Morales fight, his technique is tighter. Definitely, I can see that difference. But we don't know if he's going to be any better when things are not going his way. He hasn't really been tested big time yet, aside from those moments in the Morales fight. And if his expression, I think Warren Buffett uses it about the markets, when the tide goes out, you see he's been swimming naked. Luke Campbell is a tide here. If Ryan Garcia has been getting by only on his natural ability, Luke Campbell is the kind of guy that can really become unstuck against. But I'm going to say that I think Ryan Garcia is the real deal. There's not the kind of things that's been answered inside the ring for me to be able to say that. He just passes the eye test. He's quite a bit like his boss used to be, Oscar De La Hoya of the Golden Boy Promotions, Irancho. He gets a hype around him with people. He resonates with people, and he's got a flashy style. He really looks good there. So I think Campbell's a guy that gets knocked down, and I almost expect Ryan Garcia to knock him down at some stage. But is he going to keep him down when Linares couldn't and Lomachenko couldn't? Lomachenko's not much of a puncher, but Linares can crack a little bit. I don't know. There are some that think Garcia is going to stop Campbell. I think Luke Campbell is a very live underdog in this fight. I don't think Ryan Garcia is going to be able to do to Luke Campbell what he did to his opponent so far. I think he will knock Luke Campbell down, but he will also have to come through some rough moments in the fight. But all in all, I think his youthfulness and his speed will keep him hitting Campbell just a little bit more than Campbell hits him. And in the end, I think Ryan Garcia is going to have a proper test, but he's going to prevail by winning on points against Luke Campbell. If he can pull out a spectacular knockout win that will really launch him, I wonder if he can do it. Luke Campbell isn't the joke. That will make a real statement if he does. So that's it for me. I think Ryan Garcia wins this on points. It's a very interesting fight because we've had the group of youngsters, Jaron Ennis, Ryan Garcia, we've had Virgil Ortiz, Devin Haney, and Teofimo Lopez has risen above the rest by beating Vasyl Lomachenko. Heavyweight Daniel Dubois was also in that group, sort of fell away by losing to Joe Joyce. Which way will Ryan Garcia go? I think he will prevail, and then he might possibly fight Devin Haney, since this is a WBC interim title fight. But we'll see. So I'm going to go with King Rai for the weekend, and until I see you guys again, keep those gloves up.